Hello, everybody. I've got some big stories. Today, I'll be letting you know how President Trump's past Attorney General, Bill Barr, while going on Fox News night after night after night, has now been exposed for secretly working with District Attorney Fani Willis to jail Trump for 700 years in Georgia. DNI Tulsi Gabbard gives even more details about Barack Obama's key role in the Russia hoax. And we are now learning that the CIA actively worked to redact everything Gabbard revealed, but she was able to get it out to the public because of her authority before they got to it. Also, President Trump and RFK Jr. just made some big moves on Maha, and I want to share that with you. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos and being patient with me while I'm on vacation. I know they've been a little bit lower quality, but the information has been out of this world, which is why I left my family each day to give you guys a news update. I apologize. I have allergies this morning, but let's jump into the news. I have some breaking news coming from Alex Jones and James O'Keefe from O'Keefe Media Group about Trump's former Attorney General, Bill Barr. This is the guy that was going on Fox News saying there was no election interference, there was no there, everything was kosher, we should let these people go. And now we're finding out that he was secretly working behind the scenes with District Attorney Fani Willis on how to jail Donald J. Trump for 700 years for election rigging in the state of Georgia. Now, this is the same Bill Barr that refused to investigate election fraud, said that no judge is going to listen to this garbage. This is the same Attorney General that shut down retired Colonel Tony Shaffer's investigation into the semi-truck that was pre-filled with ballots for Joe Biden from New York to Pennsylvania. Now, Tony Shaffer, he's the guy that figured out that 9/11 was happening, and Clinton and Bush told him to stand down. Let me go ahead and share that video with you because I think you're going to find it absolutely fascinating, just like I did. Let me roll that now.
That was like one of the first meetings that I had about this plan they had to go after everyone who works or support Trump. And that was back in September 13 of 2021. So in this meeting was me, Armstrong, Shermichael, and Bill Barr by phone. And they spoke about January 6th committee. They authorized the committee to investigate the events about January 6th. We started like with some names. They also gave a lot of names here. We have like Michael Flynn, Steve Bannon, Rudy Giuliani, Jeffrey Clark, Oath Keepers, Proud Boy People, Proud Boy Group, Scott Paris, Jim Jordan, a group called Stop They Steal, Brad, again, Hafesbergen, Shamos, Ruby Freeman, Patrice Cipollone, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, and we have some target people, which is like the people they want to target more. And that was like Stuart Rhodes and Enrique Tarrio and Roger Stone. And here I have a quote. It was like Barr and Cheney once focused at Roger Stone, Rhodes, and Tarrio and Bannon. And also in Kimberly Guilford, who is close to Trump. Armstrong goes on TV or he goes on social media, or he goes over his Twitter account or X account, and he claims he's Republican. He's this person who is like extremely patriotic. He loves his country and everything. But at the same time, he was lunch meetings with Bill Barr to plan against Trump and against people involved in January 6th.
You just saw an ad from...
All right. So while everybody was distracted, right, while the king was down, everybody comes in to do this big coup. Bill Barr, the attorney general that's supposed to be supporting Trump, that Trump let go at the last minute when he realized he was a moron that wasn't going to investigate all of the anomalies in the 2020 election. Hundreds of thousands of ballots brought into Pennsylvania, winning state after state after state in the middle of the night for Biden, the broken water toilet in Georgia, taking almost 3 weeks to count ballots in Maricopa County, Arizona, all of it. Bill Barr shut it down. Trump said, get out of here. You're not doing a good job. It's literally your job to do this. Now we find out they were creating a list for the RICO case. We find out Bill Barr was targeting Roger Stone, Enrique Tarrio, and others, people that have come on my show, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, others. This whole thing was a coordinated effort by rhinos to take down Donald Trump. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because it is absolutely massive. Now, it gets weirder than that because what we're finding out from DNI Tulsi Gabbard is that the CIA was actually asking her, do not share this stuff about Obama. It would be bad for the country. Do not share these documents unredacted. She said, no. The American people deserve the truth. I want to show you more of what she had to say on that topic because God bless her. We only know this stuff because she had the courage to come forward and share it.
This is where you use the word dangerous. This is where the weaponization of the intelligence community can have such a dangerous outcome that is really impossible actually to measure. When we look at a sitting president of the United States and President Obama, unhappy with the outcome of the election and making the appearance of a peaceful transition of power,
priding himself on it
over and over and claiming to be the champion of democracy, and yet launching what we now know came from President Obama was a covert mission, essentially, to subvert the will of the American people, create this lie that would challenge the legitimacy of President Trump's election and the 4 years of his administration, resulting and affecting in what was truly a years-long coup. This is why it's so important, and I just keep repeating myself over and over again because you look at the evidence that we released. We have to look at it within the greater context of what happened in the months leading up to that election, November 2016, and what followed in the years after, in order to understand or get a glimpse into the true implications of this.
Why do you think Barack Obama did that? He'd served 8 years. He was going out on a high. What was he so frightened of with Donald Trump that he needed to sabotage him?
I haven't seen any intelligence that reflects his inner thoughts or intentions with this. But again, I think you can take a step back and just recognize at face value, if Hillary Clinton had won that election, this would not have happened.
All right. So while pretending to be the champion of democracy, Barack Obama behind the scenes is carrying water for Hillary Clinton. We don't have the inner workings of why he did this because it was Hillary Clinton's plan. He just happened to be the most powerful puppeteer in order to carry it out. But at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton was running Barack Obama. Barack Obama was not more powerful than Hillary Clinton. And that's why they wanted to put Clinton into office. And that's why he went along with her disastrous plan. So pretty interesting how the CIA wanted to continue to cover that up. They didn't want information out that a former president had betrayed the country, committed treason, sedition, conspiracy to undermine a U.S. election. This was the insurrection. This was the coup. All right, we're coming up on the 200 days of President Trump in office. Laura Trump was asked about President Trump, how nearly being assassinated changed him, and her thoughts on his first 200 days in office. Let me go ahead and bring that up. We'll watch it together.
Actually was so successful during his first term in office, but he was learning a lot. There was a lot of kind of on-the-job training that President Trump was doing while he was in that first term. He had the 4 years off And look, once you kind of have these life-altering moments like an assassination attempt, I do think he came out of that saying, there's one reason I'm here right now, and that is in order to become president, save this country, and I have a job to do for 4 years. He's not wasting any time. Most people, most presidents in 4 years actually couldn't dream of doing what President Trump has done in the first 200 days. So I think it's amazing. And I think we're so lucky to have someone with the drive, the vision, because it also takes vision, to see all the things he's been able to do. It takes guts to do a lot of these things, but we're the benefactors here in America. And by the way, I would say around the rest of the world. So buckle up. The next 3.5 years, I think, are going to be exciting.
Okay, so the most successful 200 days of any president in American history. He has this assassination attempt where we all saw the miracle of God preserving his life on live TV instead of having his brain scattered in 4K. He believes that he is here to do everything he can for 4 years, like use my body, use my mind, let's go to work and make America great again. So let me know in the comments, 200 days in, are you still supportive of President Trump? Do you regret your vote? I'm seeing a lot of people out there saying, I regret my vote. He's not getting enough done. I'm like, are you kidding me? If this guy was moving at the pace of Joe Biden, literally nothing would have changed. Instead, inflation is down, gas is down, eggs are down, food is down. Do I want it to come down more? Yeah, but I got to live in reality, right? Like these companies have raised wages, and that's the most expensive part of running a business. They're not able to bring those down to pre-pandemic. But what President Trump is doing is trying to bring interest rates down to the pandemic level. He's also trying to work with bringing federal employees back down so that it doesn't cost the government so much money to run. Another thing that he is doing, which I think is really quite extraordinary, is President Trump just made a really big order last night. Let me pull this up. Breaking news, President Trump has just ordered all federal agencies to delete employee COVID-19 vaccination status. They also must delete any record of vaccine noncompliance and exemptions. President Trump said, why on earth are we holding this information? It was a bad idea for Biden to force an experimental drug on someone who didn't want it. It was a bad idea to then promote this to the public, shame people, use record keeping in order to corral people and shame them, make them scared for their lives and their job. He said, enough, we're done. We're not going to do that anymore. And I think that is absolutely the right move. Speaking of Trump, RFK Jr. just made a huge announcement about vaccines, compensation, putting the carrot in the right place to motivate doctors. Let's watch that together.
Should doctors make decisions based upon what's best for their patients or based upon what makes them the most money? It's not a tough question, but we've inherited a healthcare system that constantly pushes doctors toward the latter. It rewards certain treatments, not because they're better for the patient, but because someone profits. Take what happened during COVID. Hospitals were paid to report staff vaccination rates. Those numbers were fed into the National Healthcare Safety Network, then published on the CDC website to shame any hospital that refused to become an enforcer of federal vaccine mandates. Today, I'm proud to announce we've eliminated that policy by repealing a dangerous Biden-era provision in the CMS inpatient payment rule. And we're not stopping there. We're scanning every corner of the healthcare system for hidden incentives that corrupt medical judgment. What we're finding is alarming. Doctors are being paid to vaccinate, not to evaluate. They're pressured to follow the money, not the science. We've recently uncovered that more than 36,000 doctors had their Medicare reimbursements altered based upon childhood vaccination rates. That's not medicine. That's coercion. It's immoral. It has no place in a constitutional democracy or in a system that claims to protect children. Medical decisions should be made based upon one thing and one thing only: the well-being of the patient, never on a financial bonus or a government mandate. Patients deserve honest, uncorrupted advice from their doctors. Doctors deserve the freedom to use their training and to follow the science and speak the truth without fear of punishment. Doctors should be guided by medical judgment and their Hippocratic oath, not by financial incentives or government mandates. That's what this policy change is about, and it's just the beginning. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys, that is absolutely huge news. So as they started digging in, they realized a lot of these doctors, they're not actually able to do medicine. They're under so much pressure to hit certain numbers or prescribe so much of a medication or get so much of a shot or get so many back surgeries or knee surgeries that they're not doing what's best for the patient. They're literally breaking their own oath of first do no harm and to put the patient first because of corporate capture, because of cheating insurance companies, because of the government, because of bull crap like Joe Biden, right? So he's allowing doctors to get back to their roots, which is patients and medicine and science, right? Work together with your patient to understand. I think that this is huge. I'm really excited about it. On top of that, President Trump and RFK Jr. just approved canceling 22 mRNA vaccines that were in the works. You guys, millions of people died because of the COVID mRNA shots. It's proven. The data's out there. Dozens and dozens of tens of thousands were injured because of that. Just look at the VAERS data. So now they've canceled that, which is about $500 million. Sorry, I'm having allergies here. $500 million. But listen to what Steve Bannon's guy had to say about this, because I think it's really awesome. And I'm just so excited about everything going on.
This is a massive win for Secretary Kennedy and basically a silencing of many of the critics. It's not a ban on mRNA like many people would like to see. However, it is the wind down of the government investing through BARDA in these technologies, and their global health investment corporation partner is advised to stop all equity investments in modified RNA technologies. So follow the money. When the money isn't there, these are going to fizzle. So I think, like you said, this is a bombshell. This is the repercussions are going to be felt worldwide.
All right. So the number one reason that mRNA and these rushed medical therapies were able to move forward was because of the United States government. There are major lawsuits that you don't even know about against vaccine manufacturers, like the MMR shot. There's a 20-year lawsuit that they are keeping buried and sealed. And they basically allowed Merck and others to get away with this because they said, well, we buy from them knowing that these have these side effects. Therefore, nobody was tricked. But the person getting them put into their arm are tricked. So what this doctor, Dr. Cole, is saying is, listen, if these pharmaceutical companies are so confident in their product, they can still put $1 billion into this. And they can bring it to market, and if people want it, it'll be successful, like Viagra or, a heart medication or something, a liver medication, whatever it is. But if they're only successful because the federal government uses taxpayer money to make them successful, that's not real. That is fake capitalism. That is actually corporate socialism. So that's going away, and I'm happy for that. To be going away. I hope that you are as well. Okay. President Trump, my gosh, this guy does not take a day off. He just helped end a multi-decade war between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Let me go ahead and roll this for you.
For more than 35 years, Armenia and Azerbaijan have fought a bitter conflict that resulted in tremendous suffering for both nations. They suffered gravely for so many years. Many tried to find a resolution, including the European Union. The Russians worked very hard on it, never happened. Sleepy Joe Biden tried, but you know what happened there? He tried for probably 12 minutes and didn't work out. And many other countries tried and they were unsuccessful. But with this accord, we've finally succeeded in making peace. And we just left the Oval Office where we signed voluminous documents and very important elements to the agreement. The country of Armenia and Azerbaijan are committing to stop all fighting forever, open up commerce, travel, and diplomatic relations, and respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity, so importantly. And I just spent a lot of time with these two men. I think they're going to have a great relationship. You want to know the truth? They didn't see each other that much, but they probably will. I think they're going to have, I think you two are going to have a great relationship.
Okay, later, those two go on to shake hands, and a 35-year war. The guy on the right says the only person who had the power and the will and the authority to bring this 35-year war to an end was Donald J. Trump. The guy on the left says Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't want to kill these people anymore. So through money and capitalism, they are now going to work together to make Azerbaijan great again and to make Armenia great again. It's awesome. This is so cool. This is like the 7th war that he has ended. And it's just so, so amazing. All right, that's my update for today. If you guys could, give this video a like so that YouTube and Rumble will share it with others. Also, share it with family and friends. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I promise the videos are usually a little bit better than this, but I've been on vacation and I have some allergies going on today, but I wanted to sneak away before I jump on my flight back to Utah and bring you guys these big, incredible stories. All right, I love you guys so much. Stay amazing, and I will see you on the next video.